Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make these gluten-free chocolate sugar cookies with a cute little pink heart on top made of chocolate candy wafers. I honestly don't know which I like better now, y'all, my regular cutout sugar cookies or these. They're so chocolatey, they're almost fudgy, and the color isn't at all artificial. It's from black cocoa. So let's get into it and I'll show you how to make them. In my bowl, I'll go ahead and add 1 cup or 226 grams of softened butter and 1 cup or 200 grams of sugar. And I'll start mixing these just to begin the creaming process. My butter is a little on the colder side, so I don't want to add the cream cheese just yet. I want to get the butter a little bit softer first. Yours should be fully softened. I tend to forget to take my butter out until the last second. And I'll go ahead and add in 4 ounces or 113 grams of softened cream cheese. And now I can turn this up and let it go for just about 30 seconds or so. There are dairy-free options, y'all. Just look in the recipe. I'm going to scrape down the sides because I don't have the scraper beater for this one, the beater blade. I didn't want chocolate flying everywhere. I'll add in 1 egg yolk and mix that in real quick, just again, like 20 to 30 seconds at most. And I'm going to scrape down the sides yet again. In this bowl, I already have 1 3/4 cups or 245 grams of Kim's gluten-free all-purpose flour blend and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm adding to that 1/3 cup or 80 grams of black cocoa. I'll leave a link for where I got this. It's what's used in Oreo cookies, and it has a really intense chocolatey flavor. I'm telling you, it smells and tastes just like an Oreo cookie. But if you don't want to buy the black cocoa, you can certainly use Dutch processed. I wouldn't recommend using natural cocoa like Hershey's, though. It won't give quite the same results. Okay, I'll add all of this to the bowl now, and I'm just going to pulse it on low, on and off, until it's well combined. Oh, I almost forgot to add my vanilla. Let me grab that. It's about a teaspoon or so, give or take, of vanilla extract. Look at this color. It's really black, isn't it? And this is natural too, y'all. No artificial dyes at all. It'd be great to add for frostings or buttercreams, especially like Halloween time, because you'll get this deep black color without the need for any coloring and like an over excess amount of coloring. So when I first made these, I was putting the dough in plastic wrap and refrigerating it like this for a couple of hours, just like I do with my original cutout sugar cookies. Then I got smart and I decided to roll out my dough between 2 sheets of parchment, because then I didn't have to add any extra flour to roll it out, or cocoa in this case if I wanted to do that. So it's just a suggestion to make your life easier. You can do either method. I'm going for between like about a 1/4 inch thick here, maybe a little in between 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Okay, this looks good enough, so I'll slide this whole thing onto a baking sheet and I'm going to put this in the fridge to harden for about an hour. And while that's chilling, we can make the little candy hearts for the top. I've got this bag of candy wafers here. I made sure they're gluten-free. This is Choco Maker, and I got this from Walmart. And then these I got on Amazon, but any mold will do. I'll leave a link for these below, though, if you want to use these in particular. I really liked these because they're like the conversation hearts. So I'll dump these into a microwavable bowl, and the bag says to microwave on half power for 30-second intervals until almost completely melted, and then stir to finish melting. Could you frost these cookies instead? Absolutely. I plan on doing that the next time I make them. Some with like royal icing and then some with just buttercream. I'll leave a link for both my royal icing recipe and my vanilla buttercream recipe below. Okay, this took, about 2 minutes maybe a little more. And I'll just stir until all of the rest of these pieces are melted because this is quite warm now, so the rest of it should melt. I really like this Choco Maker brand. I usually use Merkin's, which I purchase online on Amazon, but this brand is great for just picking it up at a Walmart near you, which everybody pretty much has a Walmart near them. So it's really fluid, unlike some of them. Okay, I've got a decorating bag here, and I'm just going to pour this in. You can use a spoon to do this instead of a decorating bag, but these molds are so small and so shallow that it's really harder to do that with a spoon. Let me just grab some scissors and snip off just the very tip, like maybe a quarter of an inch, and just pipe this into the little molds. I always learned when using molds like these is to pick them up and drop them on your surface, which helps the chocolate spread. You can always go back and add chocolate where it's needed, like in the little intricate corners. Even take a toothpick if you need to spread it out. And we'll get both of these into the fridge for just a few minutes. And here they are. They should come out of these molds really easily. Look at how cute, y'all. If you haven't seen it around Christmas time, I made some butter cookies topped with dark and milk chocolate that are outrageously good as well. I'll leave a link for that video. And this is the heart cookie cutter I chose for these. You can use any size. You can use something that's smaller so the chocolate fills nearly the entire top. I kind of like to where this is like a smaller heart inside a larger heart, but you do you. Let me go get my cookie dough now. This is perfectly chilled. So I'll just peel off this top parchment layer and just start cutting out my heart cookies. See how thick this is? It's like just about a quarter of an inch, I think. That's what I like I said, but you can go thinner if you want crisper cookies. And if the dough starts getting soft at any time you're doing this, just pop it back in the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes, or even the freezer for just a few minutes. Because there's no flour on the bottom. Like normally I add flour as I'm going when I'm rolling out my regular sugar cookies. This dough is just a little bit stickier than that. But that's okay. We can use the fridge to our benefit this time. Alrighty, I've got my oven preheated to 350 Fahrenheit, and I'm going to bake these for about 12 to 14 minutes. These were in there for 12 minutes, and they should feel set when you touch them lightly, like on the edges. They're not doughy at all. So I'm going to let these cool on the baking sheet for 5 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and transfer them to a wire rack to finish cooling. But while they're still just ever so slightly warm, another like 2 minutes or so, I'm going to add the chocolate heart to the top. The residual warmth from the cookie will melt the heart just enough to seal it to the top of the cookie. And if you wait too long, it's no biggie. Just put a dot of the leftover chocolate from your decorating bag on the back of the chocolate heart, to adhere it to the top of the cookie. And we'll let these cool and let the chocolate set completely. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Look at how freaking cute these are, y'all. But the true test is whether they taste as good as they look. And I'm here to tell you, they are incredible. They're like fudge. They're so soft. They're so chocolatey. It's like an Oreo cookie on steroids. So, so good. Enjoy.